right, good morning. How's everybody doing? It's Friday Eve, Thursday, right? Y'all doing okay? All right, so we are going to, today we're going to go over section 6.4, 6.5. We're gonna talk about dividends and stock yields, and we're gonna analyze financial graphs. So our learning target today is I can calculate dividend income, yield, and interest, and I can interpret and create stock bar charts, okay? So we got some vocabulary to start. Some vocabulary words. All right, so let's go through it. So dividends. Dividends is a corporation's profit that is split among shareholders. Again, a corporation's profit, dividends are a corporation's profit that is split among shareholders. It's normally paid annually or quarterly. It's paid annually or quarterly. And the total dividends depends on the number of shares that you own. Number of shares that you own. Dividend income is money received
What's up? If Sebastian comes, can you send me a Teams?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so dividend income is money received because a person owns stock in a company and the company paid part of its profit to shareholders. So dividend income, and we're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna do some examples. Okay, we're just gonna do vocabulary first and work the examples so you have a better understanding, okay? Yields. Yields is the percentage value of a dividend compared to the current price per share. Yields is the percentage value of a dividend compared to the current price per share. Yields, you can change even when a dividend amount does not, because the price of stock changes frequently, and we have a couple of formulas. We have the dividend, and we have the yields formula. So to find the income from dividends, we're gonna multiply the number of shares times the dividend, times the dividend per share. And we're gonna see that. We got yield. To find the yield, is the annual dividend per share divided by the current price of one share times 100. So we're gonna look at that. So let's go ahead and go to look at example number 1. Does everybody have this? So I can move up? Okay. All right. Let's take a look here. All right, so let's look at example number 1. Example number 1 says, and I'm gonna actually model example number 1 of how to do this, okay? Roberta is considering purchasing a common stock that pays an annual dividend of $2.13 per share. If she purchases 700 shares for $45.16 per share, what will her quarterly income be from dividends? Okay, so first I'm gonna underline the important parts in the problem. Here I have an annual dividend of $2.13 per share. she purchases 700, so she purchased 700 shares. The price of the shares were $45.16. And I'll also underline my question. What would her quarterly income be? So I know quarterly is 4. Annual is 1. So first, I'm gonna look at and find my annual income first. That's what I have to do first. Okay, so I'm gonna take 700, which is my shares, and I'm gonna multiply that times the price of the shares, which was $2.13. So I'm gonna go to Desmos and calculate that. So 700 times 213 gives me 1,491. And this is the yearly income. 1,491 is the yearly income. Now, I'm gonna go back to my question. My question is asking for the quarterly income. So now that I have the yearly income, I'm gonna need to divide it by 4. So I'm gonna take that 1,491 and divide it by 4. 4 because it's quarterly. And I need to know the quarterly income. So now I'm gonna go back to my Desmos calculator. And divide that by 4. Which gives me $372.75. That is my quarterly income. $372.75 is my quarterly income. All right, now let's do example number 2 together, since I did example number 1. It says Elise owns 2,000 shares of a corporation that pays a quarterly dividend of 51 cents per share. How much should she expect to receive in a year from dividends? So let me ask you this question. What do you think I should underline in this problem? What things that stick out?
1,000 shares.
Okay, 2,000 shares. What else?
51 cents per share.
51 cents per share.
And a quarterly dividend.
Okay, quarterly dividend. What else?
The question.
The question. Okay. Now, it says she pays a quarterly dividend. So what is it giving you first? The quarterly, right? So if it's giving you the quarterly, we'll do the flip of this, because it's asking how much she makes in a year. So first we're calculating the quarterly, and then we're gonna find the yearly. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so let's look at the quarterly income. What do you think I need to multiply first to find the quarterly income? What do I need to find? What do I need to find the quarterly income? What 2 numbers?
2,000
Okay,
51
good.
cents.
Okay, 2,000 times 0.51. All right, can y'all go ahead and multiply that for me? Tell me what you get. 2,000 times 0.51. Okay, 1,000, thank you. Good. 1,020. And that's the quarterly income. But what's the question say? question read?
How much should she expect to receive in a year from dividends?
Okay, so she gets this on a quarterly basis, and quarterly is how many? Four, right? But we need to find out for the whole year. So what do you think we need to do?
Multiply?
Multiply, right? So we're gonna multiply. We're finding the yearly income, and we gotta multiply it times what?
100?
Mm-mm. We're gonna multiply this times 4 because she gets it 4 times in a year.
Okay.
So we're gonna take that $1,020 times 4. Cause every quarter she's getting $1,020 for the whole year. So what's 1,020 times 4?
$4,080?
Yeah, 4,080, good. Good job. This is what she's getting in a year. So you know a quarter, so if you get this 4 times a year, it'll equal that, $4,080. Any questions on any part of this? All right, let's go on to example number 3. Do y'all have all this? Okay. All right. All right, we're gonna work example number 3, and I'm gonna let you guys work example number 4 and just come around the chat, okay? So it says Jaquez is, purchased 800 shares of a corporation that pays $3.42 per share. Annual dividend. What is his annual dividend? What is his annual dividend? Income. So if you go back and look at the formulas, what does that formula say? The first one. Because it says income from dividends equals what?
11 shares times dividends per share.
Okay, so that's what we're actually doing. We're just actually going according to the formula, right? So how much is the number of shares?
800.
800. And we're going off the price, right? Price is $3.42. Go ahead and multiply that and tell me what you get for the annual dividend.
2,736.
Okay, good. 2,736 is the annual dividend. All right, so now I want you guys to go ahead and work example number 4, and I'll come around and take a look. Mm. Alright. Let's take a look at example number 4. Monique owns 400 shares of stock. The quarterly dividend per share is 65 cents. What is Monique's annual income? Alfredo, come underline the important parts in this problem for me. Okay, good. Rachel, come give us the annual dividend. I'm sorry, the quarterly dividend. That's what we find it first, the quarterly dividend. Yeah, this might be better.
Remember?
Yeah. Okay, so I walked around and I saw a lot of papers with this amount. This is the quarterly income, right? What's the question asking?
What's the annual dividend?
Annual. So what we need to do to find the annual dividend?
Multiply 4 times.
Multiply it 4 times. So you have another step. So 260 times 4. This is just the quarterly amount. Bless you. We need an annual dividend. So go ahead and multiply 260 times 4. Wait a minute, hold on. You said you got how much?
1,040.
Okay.
1,029.
What y'all get? Did y'all get 1,040?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that is the annual dividend. Just make sure, that's why I got you underlining what it's saying. That's quarterly, but it's asking for annual. Anytime it's, you find in the quarterly and they're asking for your annual, it's 4 times, okay? Any questions on that? Or does that make sense?
Yeah, I remember.
Huh?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, let's look at yields. So flip over to page 10. Page 10. We'll look at example number 5. This is different. We're using the second formula on your page. Second formula is on page 9. Okay? So, Christian owns stock in Max Toy Den. The annual dividend is $1.40. So the current price is $57.40 per share. What is the yield of stock to the nearest 10? So first I'm gonna underline the important parts in here. I got an annual dividend of $1.40. Current price is $57.40 per share. My question says, what is the yield of stock? So yield is equal to the annual dividend divided by the current price times 100. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. Here, annual dividend. And the problem, the annual dividend is $1.40. So I'll put that up here. Down here, current price. The current price is $57.40. Times 100. So we'll go plug that in to find out how much my yield is. Y'all can plug it in as well. Go ahead and plug it into your calculator. Which I get
2.43.
2.43. So we're gonna just round it because it's 2.439. So I'm gonna just do 2.44 as the yield. But good job. So our yield on this one is 2.44%. So all I did, as you can see, is utilize the formula. All right, y'all go ahead and see if y'all can do example number 6. Same way we just did example number 5, using that formula. Do example number 6. Y'all ready? Alright. Missy owns common stock in Fran's Quilt Shop. The annual dividend is $2.50. The current price is $120 per share. What is the yield of stock to the nearest 1/10%? What am I underlining? What's the important parts in here?
Annually, dividend is $2.50.
Okay, what else?
Current price, 120.
Alright. Alright, so what do I do now? To find the yield, what did y'all do? Tell me what to do. What am I writing?
2.50
2.50
divided by 120
divided by 120
times 100.
times 100. What y'all get?
2.08.
Alright, let me see a thumbs up if you got 2.08. Everybody else? Did you get a 2.08 if you, okay. Alright, that is correct. Good job. Alright, example number 7 is a little bit different. So we're gonna talk about that, because it talks about the net change. It's a little different at first, but it's still, we still have to find the yield. Any questions on 6 before we move to 7? Okay, alright. 7. So 1 share of the Beat Corporation preferred stock pays annual dividend of $1.20. Today Beat Co. closed at $34.50 with a net change of 50 cents. what was the stock's yield at closing price? So we're gonna first find the current price. I'm gonna do that first. Okay. So first I'm gonna underline, I got an annual dividend of 120. They closed at a price of, with a net change of 50 cents. And it says, what was the stock's yield price at closing yesterday? Alright, so look at today's close first. So today's close was $34.50. The net change price of 50 cents. So all it's doing is asking me what was the price before, because I had a net change of 50 cents. So if you put this in your calculator, go ahead and put that in your calculator for me. Just like that. $34 minus negative 50 cents. And tell me what you get. Hmm?
48.5.
What you get, Deanna? 35. Cause think about it.
I didn't see the point.
Yeah, think about it. If I started yesterday with $35 and today I'm minus 50 cents, that'll give you $34.50, right? So that's, think of that concept. I had $45 and a minus $1, I'll have $44. So now we're gonna use this price. This is the price change. Now we're gonna do the yield, how we did in the other problem. So we got 120, $1.20, which was the annual dividend, and this right here will be the current price of $35 times 100. Okay. So go ahead and plug this in and tell me what you get for the yield. This is the yield on this side. Yield.
3.42.
Okay. Alright, so we just gonna say 3.4%. Good, thank you. Alright, any questions on this one? Alright, so we're gonna skip example number 8. I want y'all to do example number 9 and we'll talk about it. So I'll give you about 5 minutes to look at example number 9. Nine is talking about stock splits. I know we talked about stock splits back in 6.3. 6.3. Page 7. I know it was a few days ago. Maybe last week. Let's look at it. Stock paid annual dividend of $2.40, $2.14, excuse me. The stock split 2-for-1. What is the annual dividend after the split? What am I labeling here? What am I underlining and labeling?
1.4.
Huh? We're on number 9, let's do number 8. What are we labeling 2-for-1? Remember, A and B, right? So it's asking for the dividend after the split? Which form are we using? Since it's asking for the price. We're gonna use the second, we're gonna use the,
Third one?
yeah, the third. So it'd be 1/2 times 214. So go ahead and put this in your calculator. This will be the annual dividend after the split.
$1.07.
That's correct. Annual dividend after the split. Any questions on what I just did? Anybody ever read a bar chart? Read bar charts and the meanings of it? Kinda, sorta, remember, kinda? Alright, flip over to page 11, we're gonna look at bar charts. This is pretty simple. And after we do this bar chart, we gotta go formative, we're gonna do some practice, okay? Alright, so let's look at this chart. Everybody see this, or do I need to make it a little bit bigger? Alright, so, stop chart. We'll go through the vocabulary, but we're gonna take a deep dive and look at the chart and the meanings. So it's official information on stocks from a day's worth of data to multi-year data trends. The stock bar chart is made up of two graphs. So two graphs, one here and one here. The top part shows the daily information about the day's high, low, and the open and close. Prices of that stock. So see, we have high, which is the top of the chart, the low, which is the bottom of the chart, open is always gonna be on the left, close will always be on the right, that line here. The bottom part, which is here, shows the number of shares traded, and that's the daily volume. And we're gonna look at some charts here, we're gonna go through it. High is always gonna be the top of the chart. Low will always be the bottom of the chart. The left will always be the open, so you see this line here, that will always be the open. The line here on the right will always be the close. And down to the second chart is the volume. So let's take a look at the example. Open. Which side is the open? It's asking for the open price. What side is open? The left. So if I don't wanna put that here, that's the open. So the opening price is here. that line is between what numbers? Tell me if you can tell me an open price from that line, and you can look on your paper.
40.25 and 40.
Right, but what you think is that?
40.10.
40.10? Okay. Can we say 40.10? 40.10. Close, where's the close line?
Right.
Right. What price is that at? Huh?
39.75.
39.75. Now the day's low. Low is what? The bottom of the chart, right? This is the low. This is considered the low. What do you think that's at? And we can do approximate.
37.
Hmm?
30.
What do you think, Alfredo? Where's that at? The low.
The lowest one.
What price?
Like 39, 30.
Can we say about 39.40-ish, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Kayla, what do you think the high price is? Forty point fifty, 40 point who? It's over the 40.50. It's here, this is the high price.
Like 40.6.
Okay, 40.60. Mason, what about the number of shares traded? Give us the number, what do you think that's at? And that's down to the bottom here.
30.
Huh?
Hold on. It's at 40.
Okay, 40,
Probably 41.
can we say 42 maybe?
Yeah.
Alright, so 42 million, good. That'll be 42 million. All we doing is reading the chart and giving an approximate. Okay? Well, good job so far. Any questions so far before we look at example number 2? Alright. It says what day, and I'm gonna put the days up there. We're on example 2 now. This is going to be April 28th, April 29th, April 30th. Yeah, I can go ahead and label, cause I don't think it's labeled on your paper. May 2nd. I'll give you, I'm gonna go ahead and label, but we're gonna look at the highest, which day had the highest price first. Alright, which day had the highest price? Simon, which day had the highest price? Simon, which day had the highest price? What do you think? Hmm? Y'all agree? What do y'all think? Which day had the highest price on here?
May 2.
May 2nd, right? We're up here. So May 2nd, it has the highest price. Which day had the lowest price?
April 30th.
Hmm?
April 30th.
Yeah, no,
That's when
no, April 29th.
April 29th. April 29th is here. April 30th is way up here. Approximately how many shares of Gold Point, we're at C, were traded over a 5-day period. So it's asking a 5-day period, we gotta do all 5 days, okay? So let's look at April 28th first, and we're looking down here. So we're looking at the shares, this is the price, this is the shares. So look at April 28th, what do you think we at? What y'all think? It's way over 150.
180?
180? Y'all wanna go with 180? Okay, so that's 180. We gotta do a 5-day period, so we gotta do all days. What about the 29th? Hmm? 60? Can we go a little bit over 60?
65?
70? 80? Can we do 75? Maybe 70, 75? What about the next day? What about the 30th? Hmm?
80?
Say 80? Okay. What about the next day? May 1st?
55?
May 1st looks like it's similar to 29th though, right? So let's go with 75. And let's look at the last one. What do y'all think on this one? On May 2nd?
98?
90? Okay. Alright, so go ahead and add these up, cause it's asking for the 5-day period. Anytime it's asking for 5 days, you gotta do all 5 days and add them up and that'll give you your answer. So add that up and tell me what you get. $500? Okay. Alright, so 500 million, cause we're talking about millions on this side. So that'll be 500 million. Pretty simple? All we're doing is reading. Alright, so we're gonna do the last one, which is example number 3, and then we'll do a go form the practice, okay? Example number 3. So it says, on what day did the stock close at the price higher than it opened? So I'm gonna go ahead and label the dates on this one as well. This will be April 28th, April 29th, April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd. On what date did the stock close at a price higher than it opened? Where's the open again? On what side? The left, and the close is on what side? Alright, so according to that, what price, on what day did the stock close higher than it opened? According to those. May 1st, yeah. That's correct. Alright. What was the day's opening price on these days? So we're gonna look at the open price, and you already said open is on the left, right? On April 28th, what was the closing price? $6.90, good. April 30th, what was the opening price? Here, April 30th. What y'all think?
So maybe.
Okay, 667. Say somebody's at the door?
Yeah, Nolly.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and look at May 1st, and tell me what you think. May 1st. Hmm? May 1st? Huh?
87?
May 1st. Opening price. Right here. 650. Let's just do 650. Cause it's on the line. Okay. C, what was the day's high price on April 29th? What was the high price on April 29th? 680, right here. We're gonna skip D and we're gonna go to E. Approximately how many shares was traded on April 30th? How many shares was traded? And mind you, the shares are to the bottom. That's the bottom graph.
40.
Okay, good. 40 million. I'm sorry, 40,000, because it's in the thousands. So E would be 40,000. Last but not least, how many shares, approximately how many fewer shares were traded on April 28th than May 2nd? So let's look at April 28th, how many shares was that? 20,000, right? How many shares are on May 2nd?
50.
I would say like maybe 52, 53? Okay. So we're talking about thousands, because it's in the thousands. So go ahead and subtract that so we can find out the difference. 53,000 minus 20,000. Okay. 33,000. It's thousands. Alright, so we're gonna do some practice now. I want everybody, we're about to go to do a Go formative. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so you have the Go formative, it's called Unit 6, Investment, Sections 6.4 and 6.5 practice of what we just went over today. So I want y'all to go ahead and practice that and work on that, okay? And let me know if you can't see it. Are you cold? Now, if you want to get the notes that you missed. And also, if you did the Delta math and you passed that, you can retest on the ones that you did wrong on flex or either come after school. Just let me know. Six point four, 6.5. Let me know if you got any questions. Bless you.
Thank you.
And I advise y'all to definitely do this Go Formula, cause y'all test is next week. Let me know if you got some questions or anything.